We are speaking with Tucson native Robbie Lochner of the band Jack Russell's Great White, now of Once Bitten. And so, Robbie, tell us a little bit about what's been going on. We lost Jack a little over a year ago. Can you tell us what's going on with the remaining members of the band? And it's kind of a tribute to Jack, but you're also doing new music as well. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, before Jack passed, he was telling us that he wanted us to continue on. He thought it would be great if we could. He brought us together. It was him that we all played together, and we felt like, we've been playing together over a decade. We love playing together. We've traveled, put a lot of miles together, right? A lot of shows, and we thought, if we can, we will. Let's just see what happens. So we just started kind of taking it, and what happened after he passed, we played a bunch of shows that were on the schedule with Andrew Freeman singing. And we actually did some shows before he passed with Andrew because he wasn't capable going out. And this is the first one was, I think, June 14th of last year, before Jack had even announced a retirement. The hope was he was going to come back. He was going to do one final tour. We were going to get the three former Great White singers to come out with us, and each guy do a little set, and then Jack finished the night off. But it was, I think, probably the week or two after that June show, he's like, I can't do it. He goes, my body is shutting down. I'm like, wow, this is really sad. So
Oh.
we continued with what shows we could do with Andrew, and we actually did one with Terry Luce as well. And from there, our agent was like, well, let's give it a shot. So we kind of decided on that name, Once Bitten. Initially, we were going as Friends of Jack when Jack was still planning on coming back. And then we changed it to Once Bitten. And we thought, why don't we write music? Let's just see if we can push this thing forward on a different level. And so far, so good. We got the new single, and we got a bunch of ideas lined up, like a lot.
Oh, that's great. So tell us, the new song is called Rockin' Like the 80s. And tell me about the song and also tell me who is in the band. Let's go there first. Who is in Once Bitten?
Okay, so Once Bitten is with Tony Montana, who was in
Mhm.
the band in the multi-platinum era. He played bass then. He's playing guitar and keys and stuff now. Andrew Freeman, who actually sang in Great White after Jack, he's singing for us, myself, of course, and Dan McNay playing bass. Dan is actually currently playing with Great White. He's subbing for their bass player who has been having some health issues. So for the show in Tucson, we brought Sean McNabb, and Sean McNabb played in Great White for over 10 years, did three records, and we thought, okay, it's part of the legacy. So we're bringing
Yeah.
guys who are part of the legacy. And then we have Ken Mary on drums. Ken Mary is a Phoenix guy,
Yep.
and a lot of people know him from Flotsam and Jetsam or Alice Cooper or Accept, or he's been in a lot of things. So,
Yeah, Ken Mary's a great guy, and it's great. It truly does have a deep Arizona connection here, Once Bitten.
yes, yeah.
So the new song, obviously, you've released it. Where can people get it if they want to? Can they? Is it on all the platforms yet, or?
It's not yet. So when you play it, it won't quite be out yet, but we thought, hey, let's just get it out. You'll be able to let people hear it for the first time. It will be hopefully pretty quick. We just got to get that whole thing together because before everything was released under Jack Russell, we can't do that anymore. So we have to get all those assets together, and we've been slowly building them over time. And now all of a sudden we're here, we have a single and it's done. It's like, wait a minute, we got to get on this. So it will be on all the, Spotify, Amazon, all the usual spots, and we'll probably do a Bandcamp as well.
And right now, it's so basically right now it's a Tucson, Arizona exclusive right here on 96.1 KLPX.
That's right.
So, I'm getting the impression that you have some other music maybe down the pipe that you might be releasing as Once Bitten as well.
We have quite a bit actually. So there was about 15 songs that I had been working and I was presenting them to Jack. And I was like, hey, Jack, check this out. Let's try to get him to do something with these songs. And he liked them and wanted to, but never did anything with them. So I mean, they're all my songs, and then there's stuff that I did with Tony as well, like this rockin' like the 80s was something with Tony. And then there's a few others that are we had all the guys that were actually in here. Well, it's Dan, myself, and Tony, and we were working up ideas. So we've got a few of those as well. So we've got a lot to pull from, and we're just looking to kind of go, okay, what's next? Let's get another one and let's just keep kicking it out.
Well, it sounds like you guys obviously, there's the legacy of Jack, the legacy of Great White, and also the fact that you've been together, a lot of you, for a decade. So, now you can start, the vibe is already there. So
Yeah.
let's talk about this thing that's going to be happening on Saturday night, the 20th, here at the Old West Studio, Old Tucson Studios, right there where they would hold Nightfall and all those, they film movies there and all kinds of stuff. It's called Rockin' for a Reason. So it's going to be you guys along with ZZ Bop, which I'm presuming is a ZZ Top tribute act.
Yeah.
And then a gentleman, I'm trying to remember, Caleb, is going to be opening up as well. I'm trying to find his name here, but Caleb Bloom. So it looks like it's a three-person show. Are you guys headlining the show? It looks like you are.
Yeah, we are. Yes.
So tell us a little bit. How did you get involved with this Rockin' for a Reason show?
It was through a guy known for years, Conrad Mendoza. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, we did one of these shows last year. They wanted to do it again, but make it bigger." And they were looking at doing it at 49ers Club. I think that's where they did the first year,
Oh,
but then this was looking too big to do that. And then he came up with Old Tucson. And I'm going, wow, that's a throwback. I played there many years ago. But back then they had the soundstage. I don't know if it's there anymore. So this is going to be outside. I'm not sure how it's going to roll exactly, but back in the day, it was in the soundstage and it was great.
I believe they have a new stage that they built when the new owners took over, if I remember correctly. So, and they've definitely it's glad that it's open again. So the gates open at 5 o'clock. First band at 6. Old Tucson Studios. If you don't know where that's at, it's at 201 South Kinney Road, and it's for a great cause as well. Do you know? Can you tell us a little bit about who the sponsor is? It's rocking for a reason.
Yeah, it's the Foothills Club of Tucson. I guess there's a committee of guys that put this together, and then Conrad is kind of like the go-between as a promoter as well. Conrad has his thing. It's Rock God Productions, so he was involved in facilitating the whole thing. And but it's Foothills Club of Tucson.
All right. And we've been promoting it, looking forward to the show on Saturday the 20th. What can people expect? Obviously, they knew what to expect if it's Great White or Jack Russell's Great White. They knew what to expect. With Once Bitten, obviously, I'm presuming you're going to be playing some Great White, but can you tell us a bit about what people can expect on Saturday night?
We'll be playing, all the classic hits from the band through the era. We'll play the new song, and we probably will be doing a few Dio songs in the middle because Andrew Freeman is the singer for Last in Line, which is the original members of Dio's band. So a lot of people love seeing that because, obviously he kills that. And it's like, okay, it's something different. The energy's different when we do that, but it's something fun to do. Kind of go, okay, we're gonna kind of pay honor to that as well.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be fun. If
Spin-
people want to stay and follow Once Bitten, do you guys have a website yet? Social media pages?
We do the oncebittenband.com. We've got Once Bitten Facebook page. We've got, well, my personal page. Everybody's got personal pages, and there's two Once Bitten pages. One of them we call the main page. It's got over 90,000 people on it. The other one's like probably at 15,000. And then there's a bunch of subsidiary little pages that are people that just help out.
Oh, okay. And
Um,
then,
and,
let's,
and
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say those pages, a lot of them are like, fans of Jack Russell's Great White, that kind of stuff. So, but they all tie into us because we're all friends. We've become friends over the years. So,
So, we've been talking about the show on the 20th here in Tucson. This interview will probably be seen by my multitudes of friends in the Phoenix area as well. I'm
of course,
presuming, and I do believe I read somewhere that you guys also have a Phoenix show. Is it the night before?
it is. We're playing the Marquee Theater September 19th. So, yes, we'll be in Tempe the night before, and that should be a great time as well.
All right. So Once Bitten, you can catch them live in Tempe at the Marquee Theater on Friday the 19th and here in Tucson at the Old Tucson Studio. So a little Wild West vibe going on as well. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it should be. I'm looking forward to seeing the place after all these years. I'm wondering, I know it's changed a lot, so I'm curious.
I'm going to bring this in a little bit and then we'll wrap things up here in a second. But Robbie, I've been following you. You and I actually met for the first time earlier this year at NAMM, and you were actually kind of doing a little Great White Jack Russell tribute there at the Montrose event, which was really, really cool. For the people who may not be familiar with Robbie Lochner, yeah, I remember Rock Lochner back in the day. Can you give us a little bit of your history?
Well, I mean, I had the band Rock Lochner for years in Tucson, and the band, it gained a lot of popularity for a long time. And then we just kind of hit the wall. It was at that point where it was like, we got to do something if we're going to get over that. And I ended up leaving, and I did a little stint with the Z Rock Killing Crew up in Phoenix, if anybody remembers Z Rock when they were still around. And then you're
I
frozen.
I,
Uh-oh.
I was at
What do we got?
Z-Rock.
Oh, you were at Z
Oh,
Rock.
yes, I was at Z-Rock. Yes, I joined. I was the second crew at Z-Rock, but I totally remember that your band. I totally remember that.
Cool.
You
That's
were there. It
awesome.
was when G-Ster and company was there. I was the second crew after G-Ster, but I totally remember that. I had no idea you were in the band after all these years. I probably knew it at the time, but not remembering now.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a really
So
cool
after
thing. But
after that, what happened?
then I moved to California. So I was like, okay,
Ah,
I'm not going to just move to Phoenix. I got to go. I'm going to go. I packed my 1976 Ford Torino station wagon as much as I could pack it and just left and said, I'm not coming back. And it's kind of funny because there's people who are like, yeah, cheering me on. Other people, oh, you'll be back in 6 months. Well, no, that was 1993.
yeah.
So that first year, ironically, I got the call from Rob Halford's management and played with Rob Halford. And really, that's, because of Razor Ray, he's the one who told me to send a package into EMAS, the Entertainment Management Advisory Service. And I sent it in before I moved to California. And I thought, they're not going to listen to it. Well, lo and behold, a year later, they're calling me up, and Rob remembered my tape. His story was great. He says, when our guitar player quit, he goes, I knew who I wanted. And he goes, and we had boxes and boxes of tapes. And him and his manager were sitting down going through the boxes. And he goes, I was ready to give up. He goes, I got to the bottom of the last box, and there was your tape with your name, your number. And he goes, I remembered you. And I go, he's handed it to the manager and said, this guy can do the gig. Get him. And they hired me.
Was that in Fight or the Rob Halford solo stuff?
And fight.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So that long ago, that was 1994. And then after that, I joined some local band with some guys who had been around. This Magic Marino, who's worked on a lot of big, big records as a engineer, producer. And we played in a band briefly together. And it was interesting because his manager was this young kid. And the guy came in the very first rehearsal and we just hit it off. Turns out he's a musician. Then we started writing music together and put together a band called Jillian's Crush that came close to having deals. I mean, we had a lot of really good songs. And unfortunately, we signed a bad management contract and they wouldn't let us out of it. It fell
Uh,
apart. But in that era right there, I was able to play with Eddie Money, do some recordings with Eddie Money. I did, a few different things. And it just kind of led one thing to another. I played with this band, Dig Jelly, for a while. We played Tucson several times and then ended up with Jack. Actually, before that, I played with Cherie Curry briefly.
Oh, wow.
So,
Runaways.
yes, doing Runaway music right before the movie came out. And then I ended up with Jack, and that just kind of tumbled into what it was for almost 13 years. So 3 records. I ended up being the tour manager, ended up in the management position, producing the records, recording the records, just like doing the business for the band. So
Probably taught you a lot too.
it taught me a lot. Yeah, a lot.
Well, Robbie, I'm looking forward to hearing more new music from Once Bitten because I really do like the song Rockin' Like the 80s a lot. So I'm definitely looking
Cool.
forward to hearing more. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the 20th at Old Tucson Studios. You can get your tickets and more details on the Tucson show at klpx.com. And I'm sure there'll be links and everything on Once Bitten's page for the Phoenix show.
Yep, absolutely.
Robbie, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And we'll see you on Saturday the 20th.
Excellent. Thank you.